So I was planning on doing the podcast live early in the day. The original plan was to do the show around, I want to say 12 p.m. Eastern Time. But after work, I went for a smoke. Yeah, hit the blunt. And normally I've done the show before, baked, if you will. I've done it before, no problem whatsoever. And usually I don't say this that much. I don't, but the bud was so strong that while I was setting up for the show, I was just falling asleep. And I'm like, I can't do it. I need to sleep this shit off, and then be ready to go. Hence why the show is now happening at 4:20 p.m. Normally, this show is done on the weekends. Usually on Saturday, going to Sunday morning, if you will. Sunday night live, if you will. But being that we are in a pay-per-view week, once again, holy shit, we are doing the show right now as we speak on Friday, March 6, 2020. This is another installment of Around the Point here on YouTube.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in here today. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, while you're at it, hit the bell icon, be notified when I upload a video, whenever I go live, and all that fun stuff. If you want also as well, follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. That's where I tweet throughout all these shows. Raw, SmackDown. SmackDown's later on tonight. Hence why I'm doing this show early. But again, I got things going on. Hence why I don't have time to really do the show like I would normally do it on the weekend. But that's just around the point. If you listen to podcasts on mobile platforms, if you will, you can check out Around the Point on all our podcasting platform that the podcast is available on. Around the Point is available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Anchor, also over at Spotify. If you listen to Around the Point on Apple Podcasts, please head over there and give us the 5-star rating and leave a review. It does help out the show in the long run. We got merch. That's right, people. We got merch as we are entering WrestleMania season, what I like to call DorkMania season. Over at Teespring, over at the teespring.com. Links in the description down below. If all of you out there that are going to Tampa, those of you that are still left, if you will, if you're going to Tampa this WrestleMania season, why not be swagged out in your DorkMania gear, if you will? The shirts available on all sizes, ships out all over the world. By the way, I got mine a couple of days ago. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. I wore it actually on the Revolution review, which is also available on the video. What's it called? The feed, if you will, here on the channel. And I had the shirt on. It felt good. It felt good, if you will. The shirt fit good. Everything was no problem whatsoever. But yeah, even if those of you that are going to be watching from home, whether you're going to be at a bar or watching from home with your friends and all that shit, you can rock the DorkMania T-Shirt as well. Work has been killing me too. Yeah, man, work has been killing my ass. It's kicking my ass as well, if you will. Also, Around the Point is sponsored. That's right, we have a sponsor, people. It's being sponsored by the good people over at Anchor. That's right, Anchor is the official sponsor of Around the Point. And you know what? Again, if you are a podcaster, I had people tell me this before, that they want to start their own podcast, but they just don't know how to go about it, if you will, right? Well, let me tell you guys, Anchor is the way to go. No doubt about it, okay? I'm not just saying that because, holy crap, I have Around the Point on Anchor. I'm saying it because, let's be real about it, Anchor can help you, express, how you feel, all that stuff on your podcast and shit like that. It helps you out in the long run, all right? And here's the thing about it, okay? Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It's simple, really, if you think about it. It's free. It's free. Who doesn't love free? Just saying. They have these creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had to literally edit Around the Point on my iPhone, on the go. And it's so easy to use. Even if you have an Android device, like a Galaxy or the LG. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that new, I want to say is Motorola or LG, that new like 2-screen phone that's coming out, you can easily edit your podcast there as well. Okay, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can have it be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more other platforms out there where you can listen to a podcast. And it's everything that you need to make a podcast in one place. So head over to anchor.fm, or if you have an iOS system like I do, head over to the App Store and get Anchor on the App Store. Or if maybe, hey, you're a Galaxy user, an Android user in general, right? Head over to the Google Play Store and download Anchor and start your podcast today. Anyway, here we go. I am recovering, if you will, but here we are. Here we are, people. It is, again, Friday, a couple days away until it's almost a SummerSlam, holy crap. Until Chamber, WWE Elimination Chamber. I look like fucking crap right now. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. Work has kicked my ass. The first of the month, if you will. Rent's due. Car payments due. Child support's due if I had a kid. Don't fucking know. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but also Around the Point is also available over at okfabe.com. Yes, right, over at okfabe.com. Want to thank my good friend Connor. Again, he is the host of the Random Wrestling Podcast, which you can listen to every single Sunday at 9 p.m. over on Fight.tv. On the latest episode of the Random Wrestling Podcast, Okfabe interviewed arguably the best interviewer in the IWC, the one, the only Chris Van Vliet, the guy who took all these massive chops a couple weeks ago in his episode where he interviewed both, I want to say Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze when he went to Flatback, so that was cool to see too. Anyway, here we are. I know I'm all over the place as well. Keep this in mind also. It's also fight week. UFC 248, I believe it is, coming up this Saturday. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. Johanna fighting Willie Zhang. Shut up and take my money. Shut up and take my fucking money. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Hope all of you are enjoying your weekend, looking forward to your weekend, all that stuff. My bad, almost at WrestleMania. Obviously, they're on sale, obviously, but SummerSlam tickets have officially went on sale to the general public, and here I am waiting for my tax return to kick in. It has not kicked in yet. Once that happens, I'm buying tickets. That's the plan. It's still in effect, if you will, the rest of the SummerSlam trip, but we'll see how that goes as well. I'm also excited because coming up in March, I believe, yes, coming up in March is the return. Yeah, obviously we're March already, but March 24th is the return of the Dark Side of the Ring Season 2. Kicks off on March 24th, 2020, which is on a Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. It kicks off with the Chris Benoit story, which a lot of us have heard for so long, right? And people have their point of views on it, what have you, but they're going to tackle it. They're going to get into it. Also featuring this season alone. When you think about Season 2 of Dark Side of the Ring, if you have not watched Season 1, I encourage you guys to give it a watch on Vice. If you're really into these type of controversial stories and shit like that in the history of professional wrestling, right? And also featured here is the murder of Dino Bravo. This was going to expect in Season 2. The murder of Dino Bravo. The Brawl for All, the tournament that led to career-ending injuries. The career of ECW star New Jack. The David Schultz violent run in the 2020 Reporter. The death of Nancy Argentino, that's Jimmy Snuka's girlfriend, so they got to tackle that as well. The story of tag team wrestling legends Hawk and Animal, LOD, the Road Warriors, Herb Adams' attempt to build a wrestling empire, UWF, the UWF that no one really want to talk about, if you will. And of course, it's going to talk about the story of Owen Hart's death in a WWE pay-per-view. So all this is going to be kicking in on Season 2 of Dark Side of the Ring. So I encourage you guys to go give that a watch when it does drop and all that fun stuff. Also, I didn't mention this as well, but I'm going to mention it right now. If you guys want to show some love to Around the Point, head over to the Streamlabs, right? It's completely enabled right now. Head over to streamlabs.com/HeelSteve. It's completely optional, by the way. Completely optional. And leave a donation of your choice. It does help out the podcast in the long run. So like I said before, this Sunday is a pay-per-view. WWE Elimination Chamber. It goes live this Sunday. Holy crap, it's really hard to think, right? If they were, think about it, right? This past Saturday, we had Revolution, right, from AEW, right? And it was whatever it was for some people, right? People thought it was good. People thought it was there. I just thought, honestly, it was a 2-match show. Or a 3-match show, if you will. But there's that, okay? But here we are now with a WWE pay-per-view coming up this Sunday on March 8th from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Elimination Chamber, as we are at the final stop before WrestleMania. Holy crap. And keep this in mind. Think about this, right? A couple weeks ago, we had Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. Sweet Saudi money, right? What up, Solid Monster? And now here we go. Holy crap. Just weeks away, weeks like that, right? We think about it, right? We're going into another pay-per-view. Can you let us fucking breathe? I'm just saying. Let people fucking breathe. You know? Think about it, right? You have Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. We have Revolution, right? The week after. And then here we go. A week after, we're going to get Chamber. And then WrestleMania is around the corner. Like, can we really, really breathe? I'm serious, seriously. Can we fucking breathe? Can I have the opportunity to catch my breath? Sometimes I ask myself, when is enough with wrestling sometimes, seriously? I'm just saying. But again, if you're a podcast, if you're a content creator, this is your time to really, I guess, pump out content and all that stuff. If you guys are in the chat, well, feel free to chime in, give us your thoughts and all that stuff, and I'll read your comments on the air. So I have the card right here. And again, I look at this card. Nothing to really say, there's some matches that kind of do, spark my interest, if you will. But other than that, it's there. Again, no one's asked for this show, but they're going to give it to you anyway. So there's that. So I'm looking at this card. There's 6 matches on this card. I thought there were going to be 7, right? I could have sworn, right? They were going to add a the SmackDown Women's title match inside the Chamber. Maybe they might. I could have sworn they did say they're going to have that Chamber match. But I guess if you think about it too, you have already, right? You have 3 Chamber matches already. You think about it, right? You already have 3 Chamber matches, right? Why the fuck are we going to have already 4? Nah, I'm good. It's fine, right? So who knows? Again, SmackDown hasn't happened yet. Likely they'll add maybe another match or 2 on the show. Maybe some matches might get moved to the kickoff show. We'll see. But again, guys, I really want to hear your thoughts on all the stuff that I'm talking about. I want to hear your thoughts on Elimination Chamber and all that stuff too as well. So we kick things off. I'm looking at this card. We have Andrade defending the U.S. Championship versus Humberto Carrillo. Andrade came back at Super Showdown in that gauntlet match. That went nowhere. That Undertaker won. But he returned this past Monday on Raw in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. He teamed up with Angel Garza to take on Humberto Carrillo and Rey Mysterio in the match. Humberto Carrillo pinned Andrade. As a welcome back, here you go. You get pinned, and now we have this match. These guys have wrestled before. The matches were okay. Remember, Andrade got taken out by Carrillo a month ago. So there's that as well. Even though we know that Andrade got suspended, so they're gonna basically build off that. That being said, do you take the belt off Andrade? I mean, honestly, what was he doing with the belt anyway? I see them probably doing it, but if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna take the belt off Andrade to put it on Carrillo, just hoping it's a transition move to put it on Angel Garza, and you build in a way, because you think about it, right? Yeah, Angel Garza and Andrade teamed up on Monday, right? And there was talks of, hey, doing this thing where it all eventually leads up to an Andrade Garza match. I'm not saying WrestleMania. I'm not saying that. It'd be funny if they did. Or maybe post WrestleMania, right? Where Andrade becomes a babyface. Honestly, I don't want to see. I don't. but possibly that could probably be the situation. That being said, I sadly predict that Humberto Carrillo does indeed walk out the new United States champion. Because think about it, right? How many opportunities has Humberto Carrillo had and has failed? You got to throw him a bone. You have to. At this stage of the game, you got to throw him a bone. We have Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. They're going to go at it in a no disqualification match this past Monday on Raw. It was supposed to be Styles and Aleister Black one-on-one, but instead it became where, oh my God, Aleister Black had to face the other two members of the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, to get to Styles, and which caused Styles to beat Aleister Black with help of the OC, of course. The fact that he had 2 matches prior, and it caused Aleister Black to have his first loss on the main roster. Here they're going to go at it in a no DQ match. Who's to say that, oh my God, the OC gets involved again? Right? Because there's no disqualification. And if the rumors are true that Styles is facing The Undertaker, right? I'm hearing one-on-one. Now I'm hearing, hey, it might be Taker and Aleister Black to team up to take on the OC in a handicap match of some sort at WrestleMania. I don't know what you're going to do, but I say here you have Styles win, because I still believe it's going to be a one-on-one match. I don't really see them doing a 3-on-2 handicap match. I don't see it happening. So you want to give Styles some type of momentum, if you will, going into that match at WrestleMania. So I predict AJ Styles getting the win. We have the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, who won the tag titles on Monday against Rollins and Murphy, taking on, once again, Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy for the Raw Tag Team titles. I don't want to sit here and say that, oh my God, it's going to be a short run, because I don't think it will. I thought the match on Monday was okay for what it was. Yes, they won. I get it. They're in Brooklyn. You want to get a reaction in the Northeast. And again, the Northeast is such a passionate wrestling fan base, right? That they ate that shit up. They went crazy for it in a way. And there is that. That being said, I think it would be silly really to have here, right, Murphy and Raw win the belts right away after them losing it the week before. I think you milk this up a little more to WrestleMania. I think, honestly, the Street Profits lose it at WrestleMania. That's what I see happening here. I see that happening. You know what? They lose it to AOP at the end of the day. We'll see what happens with that, too. We'll see what happens. But, guys, give me your thoughts on that one, too. Give me your thoughts, okay? We have one of the first of many chamber matches on this show. We have The Miz. I said 3 chamber matches, but no, all we have right now are just 2 chamber matches. I take that back, okay? We have The Miz and John Morrison, the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, defending the titles against The New Day, against the Usos, against Heavy Machinery, against Lucha House Party. Where the fuck have they been? And, of course, against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Now, this past Friday on SmackDown, the Usos lost. My bad. The Usos beat Morrison and Miz, right? I didn't agree with it. Again, you don't pin your champions right away. Just don't. But they did anyway, right? They did. It should be a fun little match. I guarantee you the Lucha House Party, they're just do the crazy spot. I remember a couple of years ago? I want to say it was Kalisto. Like, he was on top of the chamber and thing, and he did a move, something like that. I remember that back in 2015, I think it was. Granted, he's not in this match. For whatever reason, he's not in this match at all. It should be, again, just a clusterfuck of a match. That being said, I see The Miz and Morrison retaining their titles. I don't see them losing the belts right away. It'd be kind of silly when you think about it, too. So there's that. We have Braun Strowman defending the Intercontinental Championship in a 3-on-1 handicap match against Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. Why? Just fucking why? God damn it, yo. Did you really think think about it. Do you really think that Nakamura or Cesaro or Zayn are going to beat Braun Strowman? No. It's stupid. It doesn't make no sense. 3-on-1 is silly. Braun's retaining, I'm assuming here, and there you go with that. We have Natalya. I can't believe this is like the match they have listed on the show right now. Holy crap. We have Natalya versus Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan in a Elimination Chamber match where the winner will face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Now, you remember on Monday, Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler went at it in a one-on-one match, right? Originally supposed to be Asuka, but Asuka had an injury, so hence why it was Kairi Sane. It was a fun little match for what it was. Shayna got the win. Becky was on commentary. She wore a crown and a jacket, whatever. I don't give a fuck. That being said, let's be real about it. You know, it's obvious where they're gonna go here. It's obvious as shit. Also, you had Liv Morgan versus Ruby Riott with Sarah Logan as a referee on Monday too. Sarah Logan got some momentum there, but you know where they're going with this. You know the obvious winner here is obviously Shayna Baszler. If they didn't tell you that once Baszler showed up and bit Becky on the neck. So that being said, I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler. I will be shocked, just like everyone else, if Shayna doesn't get the win. I will be in fucking disbelief. Can you imagine that? They give the win to fucking, I don't know, Natalya. I'm just saying how stupid that would be if they give the fucking win to fucking Natalya. Now, granted, again, the other matches on the show, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong on this one. Again, they had the guy that mentioned more matches. SmackDown hasn't happened yet. It's crazy to think that Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns are going to go at it. But yet, there hasn't been a chamber qualification match on SmackDown. There was rumors going around that there was going to be a men's chamber match. The winner will face The Fiend. That was like in the original plan, but then plans change, obviously. Plans completely fucking changed. And there went that. Right? Plans fucking changed. And now we have this, right? I want to believe that they'll add another match. I mean, you can't just tell me that the women are closing the show. Fuck that. I do not want to believe that. Okay? I do not want to fucking believe that. But we'll see. Okay? I did watch Raw to as much as I could. To as much as I fucking could. Apparently, Vince McMahon personally rewrote large parts of this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Keep this in mind. WrestleMania's in a couple of weeks, and here's Vince McMahon changing shit around. It turns out there's a reason for what we saw in Raw, right? According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, McMahon rewrote significant parts on Monday's Raw just an hour before airtime. Think about that, yo. Can you imagine you being a writer and you're writing the show, and at the last minute, Vince just changes it, whatever? So all your hard work, all this planning that you have for the show, just gone to ruin. It's like, here you go, Vince. This is what we got for the show. Fuck that shit, pal. That's basically what it's like. It's crazy. Fucking insane, right? Among them, the decision to have Ricochet lose cleanly to Riddick Moss for the 24/7 championship. And people were so upset with it. Like, I saw the match, right? I literally went to the bathroom. Keep this in mind, okay? I went to the bathroom. First of all, I'm like, why is Ricochet facing Riddick Moss for the 24/7 championship? Look how the mighty has fallen, right? Ricochet being relegated to the 24/7 championship, right? And then you wouldn't fathom that, oh my God, Riddick Moss would get a win over Ricochet. But holy crap, it happened. Holy shit. They literally gave Riddick Moss a win. And here's the thing about it, okay? There's people that are upset with it. People that are angry. Oh, this is bullshit. This is crap. But I understand. I get why Riddick Moss got the win. And honestly, in some weird way, I'm fine with it. It's not a burial. I hate that term. Oh, burial. Buried. No, you want to know who's buried? The fucking Fiend. For as much as you want to complain about it. I get why Riddick Moss won. He's the champion. He's the new face on the brand, right? Ricochet's established. Ricochet's been around. Ricochet faced Brock. So you want to establish this heel champion that you have in Riddick Moss. Let's be real about it. Who, in theory, isn't ready. He's not ready for the main roster, but he's there. So you gotta throw him a bone. You gotta throw him a fucking bone. That's why he won, which was whatever. But oh my God, the reaction of the internet once he lost. Once Ricochet lost, oh, he's buried. It's over with. Apparently, there's a report that Vince has given up on him. How many times have you heard this before? It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay? Also, among that change, McMahon rewrote the segment involving Aleister Black in the OC, which again resulted in Black having his first televised singles loss on the main roster. Here's the thing about that one, okay? If it was just AJ and Aleister Black, fine. I mean, you could have milked it to the pay-per-view because you got to have AJ do something at the pay-per-view before he goes one-on-one with The Undertaker WrestleMania, right? But then again, you have him face the OC prior to him facing AJ on Monday, right? So there was that. I mean, again, would I had him lose? No. But there you go with that. So stupid. And then obviously the final segment that apparently Vince had rewritten was the reveal of Eric Rowan's cage contained none other than the mechanical spider. Yes, this whole time of months of building up to what's inside that cage of Eric Rowan. What's inside that Rowan cage, right? People were wondering what's in the cage. Is it a head? Is it a monster, right? All this time. And again, you had to have No Way Jose and his conga line, right? His conga line. Just asking, Luke, I almost said Luke Harper, I don't know why. Asking Eric Rowan, what's inside the cage? Let us see it. All happy, joy. Keep this in mind. A couple of weeks ago, right? No Way Jose got his ass handed to by Eric Rowan. And now here he is, just being a good pal, asking what's in the cage to see what's in the cage. Do people, do they even, remember what the fuck they read on television? I'm just saying. Do they have short-term memory? Just fucking saying. So, Rowan, you know what? You asked so nicely. I'm going to show you anyway. Pulls out a fucking mechanical spider. You can tell it's mechanical. I refuse to believe that's a fucking real spider now. Had to be fucking mechanical. It had to be one of those, robotic spider that you get with the controller and shit. It has to be that. And it's a waste. It's the whole expectation just for it to be a fucking spider. To be fair, I remember many years ago in TNA, Black Rain. Remember Black Rain? Didn't he have a rat as a pet? So there was that. I mean, God, it just felt like a total letdown. All right? It felt like a total fucking letdown. Rowan is the new Terra. I guess Dave Sack, I guess he is. But let me tell you some stuff that I did like about Raw this past Monday. I did like the Drew and Brock segment to kick off the show. Paul Heyman and Brock, they open the show. They talk about how the main event is a fraud, how Drew's a fraud. He's a Scottish bitch. Drew comes out. There's a stare-off, right? And here's the thing about it, right? For weeks we've heard Drew McIntyre talk, right? To get people behind him. And for what it seemed, it kind of, to me at least, right? I wasn't convinced, right? Up until Monday. He's in the ring with Brock again, just like the Royal Rumble. They're in the ring. There's a stare-off. It's like Drew's ready to fight. He's ready to fight right there. Fuck waiting to WrestleMania. We're fighting right now. Fuck all this shit. And Brock's like, oh, listen, we'll do this at WrestleMania, right? And he's about to leave. He teases that he's leaving the ring. He goes to try to run on Drew, and Drew hits a Claymore kick. And the whole Barclays Center erupted. The whole fucking Barclays Center just lost their fucking shit, right? And seeing Drew Claymore kick Brock Lesnar. You think he was done there? No. It wasn't even done. He leaves. You see Brock in the ring, just in pain, wondering what the fuck just happened. He's leaving, right? He goes by the entrance area, right? He poses for a little bit. He turns around and Drew comes out, hits a second Claymore kick. A second Claymore kick. The crowd goes crazy again. They go insane. I think it's over right there. He's waiting for Brock to get right back up. And it hits a third Claymore. I think that's when he holds up the title. It points at the fucking sign. Fun little fact, one of my friends from work went to Raw this past Monday. So there was that too and shit like that. And I told him, hey, bro, when you're there, because he's not really like a hardcore wrestling fan. So he told me, yeah, yo, went to Raw. I saw a lot of nerds fucking point at the fucking WrestleMania sign. I don't know what the fuck that shit means, but I told him basically what it is and all that stuff. So he kind of understood. But yeah, I thought the whole Drew thing with Brock was good. It, again, got me looking forward to see Drew face Brock. Even though, yeah, at the Rumble, they kind of gave you that whole thing. Yeah, he's facing Brock, right? But him speaking on the mic prior to that really was like, hit or miss. But here, again, I'm more of a fan of action than just words, right? And it's like, I look forward to seeing the match now. Granted, do I see Drew winning? I would hope so. I really, really would hope so, right? At the same time, you look at WrestleMania right now, you have Goldberg and Roman, even though it's kind of crazy because Chambers this Sunday. Granted, SmackDown hasn't happened yet, like I mentioned in my predictions. Who's to say they make a Chamber match for the men, right? With Roman Reigns having to win and shit like that, even though they kind of already told you the result already and shit, right? But again, with that being said, you know, the idea, I just lost my fucking train of thought right now. Holy crap. It happens. It fucking happens. But that being said, with Drew, again, to me, WrestleMania, there you go, I remember now. I fucking remember now. Drew and Brock has to close WrestleMania. It cannot be, I'm sorry, it cannot be Drew, it cannot be Roman and Brock. It cannot be Roman and Goldberg. And no, listen, as much as I got love for NXT, as much as I feel that Shayna, as much as I feel like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair will kill it at WrestleMania with Charlotte winning, even that can't close the show. It has to be Drew and Brock. That has to be the match that closes your show come WrestleMania Sunday. Okay? In my humble opinion. Also, what I liked, and I mentioned this a little bit, I guess in a way, the Kairi Sane Shayna Baszler match. They've had matches before, right? They wrestled at NXT. They had a takeover match in that very building. I was there for, I think it was Takeover Brooklyn. I think it was 4. It had to be 4, if I remember correctly. Okay, there was that. They had a fun match. For what it was, Becky was on commentary. She wore a crown. She wore this whole thing, and it's kind of cheesy, it's corny. There's a new shirt on WWE Shop called Low Key Lynch. Makes no fucking sense, but whatever. But again, they kind of threw at you what's gonna happen at Chamber. Shayna Baszler getting the win. So there's that. Also, the main event, like the closing thing on the show, Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix, the wife of Edge, where she was sent to give a medical update, and she did. She gave a medical update on what happened to Edge. Orton comes out, and he's basically, saying, why he did what he did, and how Edge was selfish. Edge helped him out when Orton was young, and how Edge should think about his daughter, his two daughters, and Beth, and this and that. All this led to Beth slapping Randy Orton until she got RKO'd. Until she got fucking RKO'd, and there was that. All this now, we're now informed that Edge will be on Raw this coming Monday. Because again, WrestleMania is around the corner. You got to hype up that match. So there's that too. There's that. Again, I didn't watch much of NXT this past Wednesday. I did hear, though, that Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong had a cage match to hype up a potential match with Adam Cole. So it looks like we do have the TakeOver Tampa main event for the NXT title. That being Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. I hope it is. Also you have Ciampa and Gargano. They're gonna go at it. right? I did think that sit-down interview with Mauro was amazing for what it was, right? Johnny being a heel. And again, I said this a long time ago to people who didn't listen to me. Johnny Gargano, as much as he is a good babyface, he can also be a good heel. Look at his stuff from Evolve in 2013 or Dragon Gate USA. The guy can kill it as a heel. And he showed it here, just yelling at Mauro. Mauro feeling uncomfortable. And you got to remember, Mauro with his bipolar disorder, right? Feeling uncomfortable as shit. Made this fucking work. Made it fucking work. So there's that I look forward to as well. Yeah, that's basically what I thought was cool, if you will, from Raw and from NXT a little bit. What else happened here? So yeah, so before I get into AEW, all right, apparently they came out with the Wrestling Observer Awards, right? And the one thing, and again, normally with these, I don't pay attention to that much. I don't. But what I find kind of LOL, so they got this thing for Promoter of the Year, right? And who do you think won the 2019 Promoter of the Year? I will give you guys 5 seconds to just think about that for a little bit. Who do you think the Wrestling Observer newsletter awarded Promoter of the Year of 2019 to? Okay, time's up. Tony Khan. Tony Khan, the president of AEW, has won Promoter of the Year. Now listen, I said this a long time ago and I'll say it again. If there's one reason why I want AEW to succeed, is because of Tony Khan. Okay? But what I find funny in all of this, right? The guy can barely get AEW to 1 million viewers since his inception, since his debut on TNT, right? They've been on the ratings, again, they've been beating NXT all the fuck you want, but they can't break 1 million anymore. Right? Dana White got this fucking deal with ESPN Plus. Vince McMahon tried to convince Fox for a $1 billion deal, which I think it happened, or more, right? With Fox, and now apparently now ESPN to air his pay-per-views. But yet Tony Khan, who can barely get 1 million viewers again on TNT, wins Promoter of the Year. Which I find funny as shit. But I digress. I fucking digress on that. It also announced that JBL will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Oh boy. You can think about it. Honestly, I don't mind it. I know people aren't big on JBL for what it's worth. Again, to me, honestly, I don't mind it at all. I do not mind it. I do not mind it at all. Again, former WWE champion. I remember him beating Eddie Guerrero. I want to say with the Great American Bash 04. I remember because it was the day of my birthday, right? And my dad ordered the show for me as a gift. And I saw Eddie and JBL have this Texas Bull Rope match where JBL won. And the match before that with Judgment Day 04 was a fucking bloodbath. Eddie lost so much blood. And there was that. Again, his long run as WWE champion, U.S. champion. I do believe he was Intercontinental champion too. His time as Bradshaw in the APA and the Acolytes and all that stuff. Again, say what you want about him. Oh, he's a dick. He's this, he's that. He's a bully. He's done some shady shit. But you know what? Nonetheless, deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. I want to believe that Ron Simmons will be the one doing the induction, but we'll see. We shall see on that one. Let's talk about Matt Hardy real quick. I know you guys thought I was gonna forget about Matt Hardy. Did you really think we're gonna get into Around the Point and I will not mention Matt fucking Hardy? Hey, come on, y'all. Clearly, y'all don't know me that well. Just saying. Clearly, you guys don't fucking know me that well. Matt fucking Hardy. Apparently, over the past weekend, his contract did expire with the WWE. He's now a free agent. And Matt Hardy has been releasing these videos called Free to Delete. And it features Matt Hardy getting a visit from AEW's Executive Vice Presidents Matt and Nick Jackson just days after becoming a free agent. So for those of you who missed it, right, on last week's episode, the show ended with Matt making a frantic phone call. And then on Being the Elite this week, on Being the Elite, at the end of it, the show ended with someone from North Carolina calling the Young Bucks and saying they need to see them, the tag team, ASAP. So basically, whoever called the Young Bucks needed them to go to North Carolina ASAP, right? And you watch this video that aired a couple of days ago, right? I want to say literally the Wednesday the Wednesday before Dynamite, right? It picks up from the point where he makes it clear that he was making the call, that being Matt. He then began, again, to get his affairs to prepare for the arrival, right? So you see Senior Benjamin digging a hole, him getting back into his whole broken gimmick, right? And the episode ends with the Young Bucks eventually showing up in an SUV, as Matt says to them, and quote, "Bucks of Youth, I knew you'd come." And that's how they close it. Listen, Matt Hardy's the big talk right now in wrestling. And it makes you now think, hey, he's AEW bound, right? That is the belief. He's AEW bound. The broken gimmick is back. He's going to be the exalted one in the Dark Order. I don't think so. I do think, though, that yes, Matt Hardy, if he does go to AEW, will be a huge asset as far as the creative goes in AEW. Because he does have a good mind for the business. Say what you want about him, right? I do think that even though, and I said it before, I am not big on him bringing back the broken gimmick because I feel like it peaked. We saw it in his glory days in TNA or Impact Wrestling, right? Even though it's funny because he did posted a tweet a couple of days ago talking about how great Impact Wrestling is now, and it's a photo of him and Ed Nordholm. Keep this in mind, a couple of years ago, I remember this shit very vividly, if you will. Back in 2017, when Impact and Matt Hardy had that whole back and forth debacle, and Rebby Hardy saying hashtag fuck that owl, and the T-shirt came out, and Ed Nordholm and Anthony didn't want to give the Hardys the rights to the broken gimmick and this and that, and such crazy bullshit when you think about it, right? And which led to them going back to WWE back in 2017. But as far as, again, him going to AEW, I'm fine with it. Don't get me wrong, just don't use him every fucking week. That's all. Will he bring back the broken gimmick? Obviously, yes, I want to believe so. I think him having creative to that shit, it'll work. To my understanding, WWE did try to reach out to him, get him a good deal, but they couldn't come to terms. And hence why he's now gone. And now he's going to go out there and explore his options. So there's that. Moving along, let's talk about AEW real quick. I did see part of Dynamite. I did see most of it, not everything, right? But I did see more than anything was the Jake Roberts segment. Jake the Snake Roberts made an appearance on Dynamite, interrupting Cody, right? It's amazing how Jake the Snake Roberts can cut this fucking amazing promo still at this very stage of his career. Granted, he hasn't wrestled in years, right? But he can still kill it on the microphone. Better than most of these guys that you see today. Holy crap, it's amazing. It's fucking amazing, right? Talking to Cody, how Cody being a bitch. He got his ass handed to. Cody was cutting this whole promo about MJF, how he lost, how he wants MJF to come out to the ring and just say that he beat him fair and square. Jake Roberts came out, called Cody a bitch, a crybaby, how he has his ass handed to, like I mentioned earlier, and how he's in AEW and he has a client that's going to take out Cody Rhodes and take his share and all that stuff, right? So obviously, you can tell from all this, Jake Roberts is going to be like a manager role. Oh, he also called Arn Anderson a one-trick pony, for what it was worth. So Jake Roberts is going to be a manager. The question is to who, right? I thought of two people right away. I thought Lance Archer, even though they mentioned that he was going to be there, but he never showed up, right? They did mention that, the arrival of Lance Archer in AEW, and they made you believe that he'll be there at this past episode of Dynamite, which he never was. Or if not, Brody Lee, the former Luke Harper in WWE. Or maybe we're looking at a tag team of Brody Lee and Lance Archer, with Jake Roberts being the manager or the mouthpiece, if you will. Why the fuck not? I mean, it can help boost their tag team division a little bit, even though apparently the Dark Order are the number one tag team ranked in AEW right now, even though they lost in that in the multi-person in that 8-man tag this past Tuesday on Dynamite. So there's that too. Silly as that was. So yeah. Also, Moxley came out, talked about AEW and how he's the champion, and the champion means pro wrestling is back. I did see the main event too of Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Moxley and Darby Allin. They took out Moxley early on in the show. So Darby Allin's by himself. He tried to fight both Jericho and Guevara off. He did a coffin drop to the outside. All this eventually was to Jericho to hit the Judas effect while Darby Allin was in midair when he went for a suicide dive through the ropes, and Jericho caught him in midair to allow Sammy Guevara to pin Darby Allin. Moxley comes out after with a chair, and he's beating up everyone in the inner circle. Jake Hager from behind attacks, Moxley, and they're by the stage area, and they powerbomb him off the table, and they all do like the whole famous Shield fist bump, but they're all flipping a bird like this, basically. So there was that also. And that's how they closed Dynamite. While NXT, there was that cage match between Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong. So there's that. Both shows, I feel like, again, from what I saw, right, were good. Obviously, Dynamite, AEW won the rating again. That's nothing new. So there was that. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but I'll mention it right now. MJF flipped off a kid. And this guy's some news. This got people talking. Like, oh, how dare MJF has fucked up and this and that. I saw the picture on Twitter, right? I want to say this was in Chicago during Revolution weekend, I guess. And it's a picture of MJF flipping off the little kid. And people were so upset. Oh, how fucked up of MJF. It's a kid, this and that. But if you look at the pictures on Twitter, I guess the father of the kid posted another picture, I guess, where the kid and MJF, I guess, went at an indie show prior to MJF being in AEW, where they both do the middle finger up like this. They both flipped the bird. So the kid was in on it in a way. And I gotta say, for all the people complaining and moaning and this and that, the kid took it like a sport, yeah. You can tell that his parents sometimes, again, who get their kids to watch wrestling, even though honestly I wouldn't encourage it, to educate them on the business of all of the stuff behind the scenes. I honestly wouldn't. Because again, when they're kids, you want them to have their imagination. You want them to have their imagination just take over, right? Like there's all that stuff, right? Their innocence and shit like that. But here, again, the kid took it like a man, right? Like a sport, if you will. And he was in on it. So I don't see an issue with it. Again, I get it. Oh, it's not right, the kid. But again, the guy's living the gimmick. He's playing it off to a fucking T. So there's that. Okay? That's all I got basically this week. I know also tomorrow is UFC 248. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero for the UFC middleweight title. Here's the thing about it, okay? I have Adesanya winning, but in my heart, I want to see Yoel get that win. I want to see Yoel Romero at his 40s. Shocking everybody. I really do want to see that. You also have Willie Yang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the strawweight championship. Joanna trying to get the belt back for a second time. Gonna be a tough night, but I'm gonna go with Willie Zhang here. I think Zhang does get the win by decision. And there's that. Also, it was reported that Deontay Wilder has basically now. He has used rematch clause, so there will be a third fight, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, sometime in July, per Bob Arum. And then they're hoping, if Tyson Fury does beat Deontay Wilder again, which I think he will, that the third fight, the fight with Anthony Joshua will take place at the end of the year. So there's that. I mean, if you're a combat sports news, if you will. And there's that. Again, guys, I will be back this coming Sunday night after Elimination Chamber. I'll be back here on the channel again. So make sure you guys are sub to the channel, hit the bell icon, be notified when the podcast goes live, when I upload a video and stuff like that. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. All right. Again, Around the Point is available on all podcasting platforms. Around the Point is available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Anchor, also over at Spotify. So if you have these platforms, you can listen to Around the Point on the go. I want to thank Anchor for sponsoring Around the Point. Again, if you're a podcaster and you want to, again, start your own podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Head over to anchor.fm and start your podcast with Anchor. Also, Around the Point is available at the okfabe.com website. I want to thank Connor, the host of the OKFabe Random Wrestling Podcast, which you can listen to every single Sunday live on Fight.tv. Last week, he interviewed, in my opinion, the best interviewer in the entire IWC, the one, the only Chris Van Vliet. So make sure you guys go give that a listen. It's good stuff. Good fucking stuff by OKFabe. Also, we have the merch, the official DorkMania T-Shirt available over at Teespring. Links in the description box below. Get yourself the T-shirt if you're going to be going to Tampa for WrestleMania weekend. Or if not, maybe you're watching WrestleMania with your friends. Whether you're watching it at a friend's house, at a bar, you're doing a WrestleMania party, what have you. Why not be swagged out in the DorkMania T-shirt designed by the one, the only Double Z TV. Want to thank them on that one as well. So that being said, guys, I'm out. I got things going on tonight. I have stuff going on tomorrow for the UFC fight. And then I'll be back Sunday for the Elimination Chamber review. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys this Sunday for a live edition again of Around the Point. Thank you for watching. And ladies and gentlemen, dorks and flowers, this has been Around the Point.